a landlocked giant known as the Dead Heart of Africa, where ancient desert fortresses hide billions of dollars in oil. But behind newly locked 2026 migration gates lies a highly guarded territory. Welcome to the 99. Gaining entry requires navigating a severe 2026 overhaul in immigration policy. The gates are completely digital. This flowchart details new entry protocols. Traditional paper visas are dead. All entry is strictly funneled through the evisa.td portal. Embassy documents are invalid. Once on the ground, a rigid clock starts. You have exactly 72 hours to physically register with the National Police. You must also pass a final biological checkpoint. Without a certified yellow fever vaccination record, border authorities strictly enforce immediate denial of entry. Surviving this dense, unforgiving bureaucracy is merely the administrative entry fee required to access one of the continent's most highly guarded economies. Down on the streets of N'Djamena, a fragile normalcy exists during daylight, but the atmosphere remains tense. Look out toward the northern regions and border territories, and the map bleeds into heavy, high-risk red zones. Operating here means completely abandoning digital banking. Plastic is useless. The entire economy is driven strictly by hard currency. Transactions flow exclusively through the Central African CFA franc, a currency heavily pegged to the euro. Movement beyond designated secure zones demands extreme caution. Pre-planned logistics and reliable local coordination are absolute requirements for survival. For an outsider, daily existence means navigating a high-alert, cash-in-hand environment stripped entirely of modern conveniences. For the local population, survival is deeply tied to subsistence agriculture. Eking out a living from this dry earth yields an average local gross salary of roughly $320. The Sahelian nomadic culture relies on a fierce resilience. Their lifestyle is heavily traditional, anchored by staples like daraba, a rich stew of okra, sweet potatoes, and tomatoes thickened with peanut butter over open fires. Directly contrasting this raw, subsistence lifestyle is a secondary economy, one built for foreign workers living behind heavily fortified concrete walls in the capital. This bar chart reveals the extreme cost of foreign safety. A single, highly secure one-bedroom apartment inside an expat compound demands up to $900 in monthly rent, easily dwarfing local incomes. Two radically extreme socioeconomic realities operate simultaneously on the exact same sand, separated only by armed guards and razor wire. What economic force justifies these massive security premiums? The updated chart provides the answer. Specialized international engineers command massive, tax-free salaries extending well past $4,000 a month. The primary financial engine generating this immense wealth sits deep beneath the desert. High-yield oil extraction fuels the heavily guarded expat economy. A secondary capital influx comes from international aid. Global UN humanitarian missions run extensive logistics networks to manage severe regional crises bleeding across borders. Chad functions as a high-risk, high-yield extraction machine. It heavily rewards those willing to absorb the extreme friction of its terrain and bureaucracy. Beyond the walled compounds lies the nation's hidden geological core, the Enedi Plateau. Faint ancient rock art paints these sheer, deep desert canyons. Deep inside these ravines lie isolated oasis pools, holding water that has been entirely cut off from the rest of the planet for millennia. In the Guelta d'Arche, an ultimate biological anomaly survives. These are the world's last remaining desert crocodiles, thriving in absolute isolation. Would you brave the dead heart of Africa to see the last desert crocodiles? Let us know below. Next stop on the map, Chile, the narrow kingdom stretching to the very end of the earth. Subscribe to the channel to stay real.